Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. I'm Kalikaiz. Today I'm playing Familiars. This is Familiars as it's always been since Mystic Sanctuary was banned. We've got Ephemerate and Flicker. We're going to lock out our opponent with Archaeomancer and win the game with birds. So this deck is 20 lands, no high tides whatsoever, right? People don't want to see high tide anymore. They want to see the good control deck. This is the best control deck in the format. So you got your Faithfuls and your Mystics to stall the game. Your Modern Age filters with the deep analysis. Your Muldrifters can beat down, and you have a ton of counters with Negate. This list, I'm playing one of Negate, one of Prohibit. They're similar in cost, and they do different things. Prohibit's good versus fairies. Negate not so much, but good versus Snuff Out. And then Foil here. I really like Foil and Familiars as like a force of will, and I think it's very playable, so I'm going to play it. And then we have not too much else to talk about. I guess it's pretty much stock. In the sideboard, I've got 4 Hydros for the red decks, 3 more Negates. That way I have 4 total Negates, 1 more Prohibit, 2 Excludes for the mid-range decks that are playing stuff like Chrysalis or Pact Altair or whatever, 3 Dusted Dust to handle artifacts, and 2 Last Breaths. I think this is actually pretty important for this deck because Last Breath is really good versus Walls, Fairies, and Elves. We don't necessarily need it versus fairies, but I think it could come in, and it's very good to have these kinds of things versus elves and stuff. Also helps versus the pinger burn, potentially. So that's the deck. Hopefully you'll enjoy. Let's go lock people out and win the game. I'll see you in the matches. Upstate New York Pauper is hosting the second event in their 2025 Open Series on Saturday, August 9th in Rochester, New York. The event currently has a cap of 64 players, and a cap that's $1,500 in cash prizes. I'll be there, and I hope to see you there too. Thanks for watching. Did you know you could get sideboard guides on patreon.com/Kalikaiz? And did I mention you can get early access to videos on the YouTube page in the membership section? And if you like these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. We're here in round 1 versus He Who Is in the Water. This player used to play a lot of Pauper. And we're going to keep this, get rid of an island. They used to play like Tron. Looks like they're on Forest Wild Growth. I'll play an island and pass. I'm concerned that they could be playing land destruction. They're playing land destruction. So let's just island cycle. We don't have a play for the next turn. I'll get my dual land and play it. I do have a ponder though. I'll just play the floodplain. If they don't destroy my land this turn, I can hold up Negate. They Malevolent Rumble. They gave me the good luck, have fun, blow up your land. That's pretty funny. Finds, chooses the Writhing Chrysalis. And they blow up another land. Oh, they play a Jewel Thief. So Writhing Chrysalis in hand. I think I'll just play out the Familiar. They play Utopia Sprawl on the Forest. Now they have Chrysalis. Okay, Avenging Hunter. Not amazing. This is partially why I'm not a fan of not playing High Tide, because you get destroyed by these kinds of things. So right now they're going to attack for 7-10 damage. Let's Preordain. Bottom and bottom. Another Preordain. Well, I definitely need to play the Modern Age here, so I'm going to Chancery, pick up the island, cast the Modern Age, discard the island. And then hopefully they can't kill me, so I can snap the... Well, snapping the Avenging Hunter isn't great, right? Because they'll be able to replay it. They're going to trap me regardless on the next turn. Makes a Jewel Thief a 5/5. It's in for 10. We'll go to 7. I get to play the Writhing Chrysalis out. I'm looking basically for the Murmuring Mystic. I can go Mystic into Snap into Ponder. Here we go. Draw. Discard land. So we can... I don't have very many options. Not very good. So Chancery. Pick up the Floodplain. Evoke the Drifter. Then we can snap the Drifter, and that will be 4 mana. Snap. Actually, now I found an Ephemerate. I think I have to, like, snap your Avenging Hunter. Untap. Ephemerate the Muldrifter. We're still going to be taking lethal damage. We find a Flicker. I have to ponder for a snap. Did not find a snap, so I'm going to shuffle. Found a Faithful. That doesn't get me anywhere. So round 1, we faced land destruction. Boo! Alright, we bring in the Exclude and the Negates. And we're going to cut the Faithfuls and a Prohibit. We're looking to try to set up Murmuring Mystic. Okay, I'm on the play. I have a negate. Is that good enough? That's all I have, though. I think I have to mulligan. Okay, this is a lot better. Keep. I think I get rid of the Modern Age. We'll go land, cycle, grab a Plains. The idea here is that I can play out the Familiar on turn 3 with negate. They play a Wild Growth. Okay. Found another negate. So let's play the Plains. Pass. Hopefully they go for a land destruction spell here. A Wild Growth, I'll counter. That stops them from being able to land destruction me this turn, as well as play a creature next turn. They play Rumble. Finds Boarding Party and Arbor Elf. Can't cast the Boarding Party. They choose the Forest. Go land into Familiar. Pass. If they have Avenging Hunter, it's bad. Looks like they do. Sad times. Oh, they have an Acid Moss. Oops. I can counter that. And then pass. We have Exclude, which is great. Foil for a land destruction spell. We have a Thermokarst. I'll counter. They have a Jewel Thief. So the Jewel Thief is bad. Play a land. Pass a turn. I'm holding up the Exclude here. I think they're going to have a red spell. Goes Avenging Hunter. We'll exclude that bad boy. Get out here. Get out. Gets in for 3. Okay. So I have a negate already, which means I can play. I think I Archaeomancer and grab the Exclude. Then play the Floodplain and pass. If they play a bad boy this turn, I'm screwed. They go Boarding Party. Finding Arbor Elf. Sure. So we take 9. Next turn I have to try to block this probably. Ooh, I found an Ephemerate. So I can block an Ephemerate. That's quite good. But I do have to worry about dying to the Jewel Thief. I need to find something. I get in. I'll block. Then Ephemerate. Be great to find like... Wow, they scooped the Ephemerate. That's it's premature. That is premature for sure. Okay. We were not getting anywhere. Gotta do the same thing. Okay, so I have a foil. I have double Mystic. This feels like I have to keep, but I'm not happy about it. Turn 1 Wild Growth. I could foil the Wild Growth. I don't think I'm going to. Floodplain, pass. Repurposer. Okay. We'll go land. Familiar. We are pretty close to having a good spot because I could snap the Repurposer and then play the Mystic. They're going Avenging Hunter. I can snap the Avenging Hunter and then Drifter Ephemerate. We have a bunch more to do. Okay, so blue, Chancery. So this is going to allow me to have, let's see. This will give me foil on the Avenging Hunter or whatever else they cast. I'll pick up the island, snap the Avenging Hunter, untap. And then I'm going to, I guess I just hard cast the Wall Drifter, or I could Drifter Ephemerate. I think Drifter Ephemerate makes sense because I could draw into a 1-mana spell. Evoke the Drifter. Another snap would even be great. Ephemerate. Draw a Preordain. So let's Preordain. I don't know if I... Well, I guess the Preordain is good because it can trigger the Mystic. So let's bottom and top. And then discard Island. Or Chancery. Probably Chancery. Thing is, if I foil, I want to pitch something. I need something to pitch. So maybe it's the other Mystic. So foil, pitch here. And then I can go Mystic Preordain. They make the Eldrazi Repurposer a 5/5. Currently have 5 mana. So they're probably going to recast the Avenging Hunter. They might go for a land destruction spell instead. Play a Sprawl, that's okay. They go Acid Moss, we're going to foil. Discarding the Mystic. They give me the GGs, wow. GGs. I'm surprised that we took it there, but I'll take it. We'll see you in round 2. Okay, round 2 on the play versus I don't know. They're doing something. I'll keep. So here we have turn 2 Modern Age Pitch Deep Analysis. I also have Negate in hand, and I can set up with the Preordain. I'll Albil, no. 11. Good luck, man. Or woman, or person. Sorry. I'm just talking. I'm not ready for it today. Give them the high good luck. This is Sarkin, I think? Yeah. Wonder if they're playing dragon stuff. Land and preordain. So we have Faithful Ponder. I can keep both of these, which allows me to play into a burn deck a lot better. And it's a mountain. Okay, they're passing. So this makes me think I want to hold up a negate, play the land, and pass. If they are playing the Madness Burn deck, then something like a negate on their first Madness spell could be pretty important. A Lava Dart. It does look like it's a Madness Burn deck, which is kind of crazy to face. They go grab the prize, discard Faithless Looting. We're going to negate that bad boy. And then Faithful Ponder looking for a land. If I find a land off the top, I can just Modern Age the Deep Analysis. Actually, just go Faithful Modern Age. All right, that's way better. We drew the land. Faithful, Modern Age. We really need to get on the board because this deck can definitely explode. We'll draw and discard Deep Analysis. Drew a Snap, which can be great for their pingers. They play a mountain, so this could be a Gutter Snipe or a Kessig Flame Breather. Instead, they're going to Demand Answers a Sneaky Snacker. We take no damage from that. We do have a Snap. We're going to draw, discard Deep Analysis, play Chancery, pick this one up, go ahead and snap the snack on tap. I'll go Ponder, see if I can find a familiar. We did find a fam. So now, no shuffle, we can familiar, and then flashback a Deep Analysis going back to 20, way up on cards and mana. Your turn. And of course, they can use another discard spell to put the snacker in the graveyard again and get the value out of it, but we're just trying to tempo them a bit. They have Highway Robbery putting me to 19. I believe I have a Snap on top. Could be wrong. Snacker comes back. We really need to take the Flame Breather off the table of everything because the Modern Age is here. Okay, we found a Faithful. Let's go Faithful, Ponder. Trying to gain some life. Chancery. Okay, this is fine. We're going to keep the Modern Age, no shuffle. Tap for 2 blue, Modern Age. Go to 23, discard the plains, play the Chancery, pick up the island, and then draw 2 more cards going back to 22. Okay, pass. All right, I'm at a very healthy life total. I'm a little worried, but they probably can't kill me here. They're going to get in. I can block. Then they can use the Lava Dart to take out my creature, which is fine. Don't care. Got the value. Pop the Vector Glider, and then they're going to put the Snacker in the graveyard. Now they can use the Faithless Looting to get the Snacker back, just face up, or they can play another discard spell. They Demand Answers, discarding Fiery Temper, which can take out the Familiar. They decided to go face. They went face. That's a bold move. Snacker is back on the table. We're looking for a Snap, Ephemerate, all that good stuff. I can start with the Preordain. Let's see. Bolt's face. Okay, we're at 12. We did find a Snap. Great. Let's loot with the Modern Age. Discarding Island. We don't have anything in the graveyard we care about getting rid of. I'll snap the Flame Breather. That's the first thing I want to do because actually, okay. I'm wondering if they have Fire Blast in hand and they were considering Fire Blasting their Flame Breather. Let's Preordain. Another Snap, so I will bottom up. Let's evoke this Mole Drifter. Gaining a bunch of life. Draw 2. And then Snap the Drifter. We have a Prohibit for their Kessig now. They didn't Fire Blast the Mole Drifter. Let's go Mole Drifter. I have tons of mana floating. Draw some cards. Then land. Use my extra mana. Play Alluring Reveal. Draw 3 cards. I'm back up to 24. Your turn. And I think that'll be the game. We can discard an island. We can prohibit the Flame Breather. We're at 24. Like, nothing really matters here. Counter that. Just F6. I'm not going to block the Snacker this turn. Sure, I'll go to 24. So, okay, we win. Sweet. So I need the Hydroblast. And then, don't know about the Mystic. Don't really need to block. The prohibits could be good. They have a lot of 2 mana spells. Negates also could be good. I mean, in the past, I was going for like Hydroblasts, maybe just Hydroblasts and negate. I think the foil is probably not very good, but prohibit can counter their Kessigs. Let's actually, Last Breath kills the Snacker forever. Get rid of an ephemerate. So almost the entire deck is CMC 1, 2 or less, other than Fire Blast. Still think I'm going to bring in the negate over the prohibit because of other things that I might want to counter. So we have 5 removal spells for their pingers and 6 counter spells. But we did have a pretty good start last time. I'll keep, it's fine. The issues with the hand. We have no white mana, which is a problem. We have no Faithfuls. They go turn 1 looting. Let's see if they ditch... Oh, double Snacker. Pretty good. We're going to Island and Ponder. So they're going to get double Snacker back. I think I need to shuffle this. I found a Faithful. We could die to the Snackers pretty quickly. They're just passing. That's good. I'll Preordain. They're going to blast the Preordain. I am all about that. Chancery. Pick up the Island. A blast face. Well, it's a bolt, not a blast. Next turn, Faithful Modern Age. Just to get a little bit of extra value. They go Faithless Looting from the graveyard. Getting back double Snacker. Bad news. 4 power on the table. We have a Hydroblast. Go Faithful into Modern Age. And discard an Island. This is a weird spot because I really want the Familiar and to hold up Hydroblast. Get in for 4. We're at 14. They have 4 cards in hand. They're going to looting now. Discarding a Temper and a Lava Dart. So they could kill the Faithful. They're going after the Faithful. Okay. Find a negate. So I guess I'm drawing and discarding the Chancery. And we'll go land, play the Familiar. Then counter some stuff this turn. My Modern Age can block the Snacker. They only have 2 mana. Hopefully they tap out for something. Looks like we're going to go to 10 here. If they don't tap out, then I might have to just evoke a Mulldrifter and just hold up all my interaction. They thought about it. Then passed. We drew a land. That's quite good. Now I can play land and a Mulldrifter. Maybe they are going to demand answers. I will counter. We draw Deep Analysis and a Landscape. Plan is to block here. We needed to counter the demand answers because of the value that they could have potentially gotten. They put a Kessig into play. So I have a Hydroblast. Means I can play the Contaminated Landscape since it enters untapped. I can just tap it for a mana. Play the Mulldrifter out. We will snap the Flame Breather. Should I snap the Flame Breather or just blast it and then snap the Snacker? I think I will Hydro the Flame Breather. Donk. Then snap a Sneaky Snack. Snap Snicker Snacker. We're going to untap and then sacrifice for an Island. I just have the 1 mana. I'm just being a little bit lazy. You really should have waited, but what am I going to do with that 1 piece of colorless mana? Nothing. Opponent declines to attack. Alright, so now I'm kind of in the lead, I guess. We go Familiar. I'm going to Deep Analysis, draw 2. Find a Faithful. I think I pass. I would like to go snap the Mulldrifter. Don't think I want to attack into the Snacker. A Lava Dart, that's fine. Go to 9. Lightning Bolt, that's okay. We'll go to 6. I still have the Negate Hydroblast. And grab the prize, gets countered. Or 1 card in hand. No Snackers come backers. Go Faithful. Snap a Mulldrifter. Go to 7 life, untap. Cast a Mulldrifter. Oops, I have a bunch of mana. So I could hold up the white. Or I don't think I'm going to. Cast a Mulldrifter. Draw 2. Alright, another Drifter and a Last Breath. I'll play another Drifter. We hold open 1 blue for a blue mana. Play the Chancery, pick up the Island, and I'll pass for now. They have another grab the prize, but that puts them down to 0 cards in hand. I can get rid of that. And we win the game, 2-0. And that puts us 2-0 matches on to round 3. You're in round 3 versus Carrot Eater. If I had an island, I would keep this, but I have to mulligan. And I guess this is a keep. We'll get rid of the Archaeomancer. The foil looking quite bad at the moment. Last time I played against this player, they were on Blue-Red Scred. Blue-Red Terror. But they also have been known to be a Coggates player. They lead on a Blue-Red land, so I guess they are playing Blue-Red Scred. We did not draw another land, so we're going to have to try and play the Modern Age, discarding maybe the foil. Doesn't seem very good, though. Draw an Ephemerate, attempt to play the Modern Age. If they counter it, it's a problem. Worst case scenario is they had a Spell Pierce here. That is real bad for me. So now I have to top deck a land or a cantrip. They play a mountain. We did find a land. I'm going to evoke a Drifter. If they don't have counterspell here, that'd be great. They did have counterspell, so sad. Now I'm really afraid that they're going to have a monarch right now, but they didn't. They had to cantrip. So best case scenario for me is I draw a land. I can just go Drifter, draw some cards. We ended up drawing a Familiar. Okay. So I can negate the removal spell for the Familiar. Counter. Okay, your turn. They have 4 mana. 4 cards in the graveyard. Plays a Lightning Bolt and a Tolarian Terror. Looking for a land. So I didn't find a land. I can Chancery, pick up the Barrens, cycle, grabbing Island. So this next turn, let's see. They play a Murmuring Mystic. Okay. They get in for 5. We're going to evoke the Drifter. And then we have the foil backup on the Ephemerate, which is pretty sweet. Ephemerate the Mole Drifter. Okay, everything's cool. Everything's pretty sweet. Island. That's the turn. We gotta get ahead of the Tolarian Terror by gaining some life with the Faithful. They play another Murmuring Mystic. It's not great, but it's not over. Gets in. Okay. Block. Plays a Landscape. Oh man. Okay. So as soon as they draw a land or a spell, they're going to be getting a lot of value. Get an island. Ephemerate is going to rebound. Ephemerate the Mole Drifter. Then we can go land, Faithful, snap the Mystic, untap, 4, play Archaeomancer, grab the Ephemerate. So now I can block and Ephemerate the Tolarian Terror. I'll just preordain. Make it look like I don't have anything. Did find a Faithful. I guess I will top and top. Play out the Faithful. And now I will pass the turn. They have Mystic and 1 unknown. Plays out the Murmuring Mystic. That's fine. Goes Ponder. We're going to counterspell. Getting 2 life. They get in. That's fine. Okay. How do I want to do this? I can Ephemerate the Archaeomancer for the foil and then play the Mole Drifter with the Chancery picking up the island. Ephemerate, hit the foil, and then Chancery, pick up island, pass Mole Drifter. Draw 2. That's pretty nice. We drew a Familiar. We almost have like infinite life, but not really. They get in for 5. No blocks. Rebounding the Ephemerate. Okay. Let's Ephem the Mancer. And then get back to Ephem. We'll go Sunscape Familiar. Ephemerate Archaeomancer. If they counter here, I can foil Pitch Deep Analysis. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, okay. Cannot pay. The lose focus was big. For sure. So Ephemerate is not going to resolve. That's bad. Well, I do have a Deep Analysis to draw some cards. Go to 9. And then Deep Analysis, go to 6, 7, 8. Get the foil. Land. Snap the Mancer. That's awesome. Oh, man. Sorry, opponent. Nice loose focus. Why don't I just play an Archaeomancer? Grab my Ephemerate again. That's silly. And then Ephemerate my Mole Drifter, draw some cards. And I have the foil in hand. We can just foil pitch the Modern Age. Doesn't really matter. We're looking for our own Murmuring Mystic now to take over the game. I will take the 5. Being able to tap out and still have counterspells available is insane. We ephemerate for the ephemerate. Play Island. What should I do? Guess I'm going to flicker here. Draw some cards. Get back to flicker. Double ephemerate. Let's ephemerate. Get back snap. Snap the Mystic. Untap. Flicker some more. And then get back to flicker. Looking for a familiar. As we have a familiar in the graveyard. We drew the okay, I'm going to play the Modern Age. Discard an island. Drew an Arcanomancer. So now I can Mancer and I have infinite snaps. So I grab the snap and then I can just bounce your Mystic, untap, and flicker here. Making mana and snapping out. The snap, flicker. I'm going to flicker again. Since I have the foil in hand, I don't have to worry about tapping out. The snap, bounce a bird. We'll bounce them all. I've been playing Familiars without Azorius Chancery, trying to do high tide stuff, and it feels like maybe just playing it with Azorius Chancery and doing the regular FAMs thing is just good enough. We're kind of making infinite white here too. Okay, get back the snaps, bounce a bird. Okay, untap. And let's bounce another bird. Untap. I can ephemerate here for negate. And then just flicker here. See if I can find a Muldrift or a familiar or a mystic. We did not draw a familiar. Let's go Modern Age. Discard a land. Guess I'm just gonna play another Modern Age. Discard another land. Alright, that's enough for me. I'll get in. We will discard Preordain Island. They play a land. They have 2 mystics in hand and 1 unknown. The mystic is fine. Alright, we've got a lot of triggers to happen. Mancer will pick up the ephemerate. They have a spell pierce. Okay, I'll pay. Get the ephemerate. So they're kind of just working on clock at this point, which is fine. Gotta do you. I'll just yield to these. Discard a ponder. Drew the mystic. Discard the deep analysis. Discard an island. Go land. Get back to familiar. Ephemerate the Mancer. Get the snap. Snap a bird. Untap the lands. Then I'm going to attack. Just doing that first. Ephemerate a Muldrifter. Play out the familiar. Play out the mystic. And then we want to tap all of our stuff and just get rid of the faithfuls from the table. We get back the snap. And then snap a faithful. Untap. Flicker again. Return the snap. Snap a faithful. They're currently at 14. I guess it makes sense to also get rid of their faithful, or their mystic off the table. Just so they have to recast it. And then I guess I could foil it. Then we can make some birds. Flicker. I wonder how many birds I need. They're at 14. I have 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This would be 14. Flicker and flicker. Now I believe I have 14 power in the air. And I'll pass a turn. Discarding my faithfuls. We can actually just prohibit the mystic. I have 2 mystics in hand, right? That's it. Counter. Make a bird. I didn't need to make so many birds. And now here you can see that this foil will cost just blue for a counterspell. And then I can yield until my second main, which just skips everything. I'm going to say no to these. And attack out. Send with everything. Just kind of optimizing that last few seconds. Okay, 15:36 on clock. Not terrible. Well, they're going to be bringing in Pyroblasts, so we need the Hydroblasts. I think we can get rid of the Faithfuls. And then I'm wondering if I want to be playing the foils. I don't think so. I think actually Exclude could be pretty good. And Murmuring Mystic can win the game. Maybe I'll cut 1 snap, bring in a Prohibit. Mostly because the prohibit can counter their monarchs. The excludes can also counter the monarch. Let's see if this can do it for me. There's a little concern about not having life gain, but hopefully the Murmuring Mystics will be able to stall, and then it won't be a big deal. Okay, so we can't keep a 2-lander with nothing to do. This is maybe fine. Put back an island. Don't like where this hand is going, and that's nowhere. We do have lands for a few turns. They play an island. I'll play an island. I feel like my snow-covered islands are just better. But, you know, each their own. I actually like the art on this one, but the frame is grody. They get a fjord. Plays out the fjord. We're going to just attempt to play a Modern Age. They could Spell Pierce it. I'm going to get Spell Pierce at some point anyway. Spell Pierce hits my creature. I mean, my Modern Age. They ponder. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this hand was very good. They're holding up a Pyroblast with a Volatile Fjord. Got double Pyroblast. There's a Relic. Relic in a Terror deck. Land. Attempt another Modern Age? Question mark? So if they have a Hydroblast, they have Spell Pierce. It's annoying. Pretty annoying. So I'm prepared for a red Monarch this turn, but nothing else. Brainstorm. Maybe I do want the foils. Ooh, okay. So Chancery was a huge draw for me. That allows me to just get the 2 land drops out of 1 card. And they're not making land drops, whereas I am. Play land. I can't afford to evoke the Muldrifter because they have double Pyro, potentially. Okay, now I have a Modern Age. I can discard the Snap here. If they have a Pyroblast, I will attempt to counter. I'm expecting a counter spell here, but if they have a Pyroblast, I could also just Hydroblast. Yeah, they had a counter spell. We're going to counter your counter. This is great because I won the war, and now I'm going to have a creature on the table. I have something going on. They get rid of a thing in the graveyard. Get rid of a Snap. But of course, they can just Pyroblast my Modern Age when they untap. Get rid of Hydroblast. Their Relic. Passing. Draw. Discarding Snap. We'll grab an island. And pass. They Relic away a land. Okay, so what do? Modern Age becomes a creature. I will attempt to play a Muldrifter. They have a Pyro, so I'm going to try to counter their Pyro. And they have Spell Pierce. That is fine. Couldn't do anything about that. It happens. Your turn. I still have 1 Muldrifter left in my hand. It'd be great if I could draw some way to, like, resolve it. They blow up my Modern Age. Gets rid of the Modern Age from the graveyard. They're just continuing to pass. They have, okay. We have another Muldrifter. And I drew a Hydroblast for a Pyro. But they have a counterspell. That's annoying. They have had only interaction. Just counter, 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 counter. Counter. Counter your thing. Then they exiled my graveyard, so they cannot play a Terror. They have the Admiral. I'm just... Okay, that sucks for me, for sure. Okay, concede. So all they had to do was just counter me out until they could land an Admiral. Oh, did I bring in the excludes? I did not. Oh, I did. I'm gonna bring in the foils and cut the ponders. Really need to cantrip quite as much. We just need to resolve stuff. I'm on the play. I have a familiar. Guess I'm keeping. I'm grabbing planes. We really need the deep analysis. They play a land. Play a familiar. So they would have to have an untapped red source, which is pretty unlikely. They're brainstorming. They have the untapped red source. Do you have a lightning bolt? They're pondering. And they shuffled. They did not find the lightning bolt. Can play the land and pass. Maybe I should evoke the Muldrifter. I don't know. Cycle a Lorien. Now Scred will be online. They get an island. So will they Scred my creature? They might do it on my turn to stress my mana. My turn. Okay, I'll play the Chancery. That was a great draw. Pick up the planes. It goes Scred. I have a Hydroblast. Spell Pierce. Prohibit the Scred. I'm not paying. No pay. So if they play the Monarch, I'll slam a Muldrifter. There's a Relic. They get rid of a Landscape. We have double exclude. think I'm going to try and resolve Archaeomancer. They have Counterspell. We are shields down right now if they kill my familiar, so hopefully they just play a creature. Brainstorm. They relic away a Hydro Blast. Go for Terror. I'll try and exclude. Hopefully this resolves. I mean, this will either resolve and be a beating, or it will get a counter out of their hand. They played a Pyroblast, and they have another Terror. Play a Muldrifter. Now I really need to find a Mystic, because I'm going to get destroyed by these. I can snap and replay the Muldrifter right now with nothing going on their side, so I think I'm going to do it. Snap the Muldrifter. Tap. The Muldrifter. Okay, this is good. This is good. We have the Mystic. They get in for 10. No blocks. Plays Commodore. Okay, it's pretty bad. They draw a card for turn. So let's play our untapped land. Play the Murmuring Mystic. Get in with the Drifter. Bonk. I'm the Monarch, not you. Preordain. Make a bird. Find another Ephemerate. I'm gonna bottom. I'll top the Ephemerate. Hopefully this one will resolve though. Play Ephemerate. Snap would be amazing. Find Hydroblast. Going to now Hydroblast and destroy your Monarch. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yes. Okay, I've got birds to block. I'm the Monarch. Yeah, that's the way. I mean, what could they do here? Lorien? They could Breath Weapon. I will go ahead and block and block. 100% of the time I'm blocking in this position. Plays a land. It's not good. They were banking on that Monarch. They had the Monarch going on for them last game, but I was prepared. Had the excludes. Ephemerate, we're going to draw 2 cards, then draw for turn. Ephemerate's going to go to the graveyard, so I can relic away my Ephemerate, but I have an Ephemerate. Going to play the Archaeomancer. So they want to crack the relic right now. Go for the Ephemerate. Didn't crack the relic, so they're going to be sad. We can Ephemerate, get a bird. They go Counterspell. I will foil, pitching Floodplain Modern Age. Because I kind of want to have this Prohibit and this Exclude up. Ephemerate gets back Ephemerate. Then we can Ephemerate. Don't think we need to Ephemerate anything here right now. So let's just let this resolve. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I should have Ephemerated the Muldrifter first. Ephemerate the Drifter. Draw some cards. Find a Flicker. Alright, we're good. Attack. Draw for a Monarch. Yes! Thank you for the Monarch, my friend. GG. Maybe. Block and block. Mystic is so good in Familiars. I do think that Mystic is best in Familiars. They have an Azure Fleet Admiral. Well, I have another Counterspell with an Exclude. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Oh, double Ephemerate going on. Okay, Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. We will return the Ephemerates. And then do it again. Return Ephemerate. Attack with everything. Let's, I guess, play another Mystic. And then evoke a Muldrifter. Draw. Ephemerate the Muldrifter. Draw more cards. We drew a foil. We're gonna Preordain looking for a land. Preordain. There we go. Bottom. Top. Play the island. I've got Negate and foil. Hydroblast. We draw for turn. I'll get rid of this land. And Prohibit. They play land. Looks like they're going for something big. Tolarian Terror. Fine. Okay. They're getting in. We're going to block and block. Then Ephemerate Muldrifter. There are 24 cards left in my library. Draw. Make some birds. Okay. I can actually also just go for Hydroblast on your land to make more birds. Maybe that's Rubbins, I don't know. But we only needed the one Archaeomancer. That's sort of the power of Ephemerate and why I think you can play 2 Archaeomancers in this specific version of the deck. Ephemerate. I'm gonna grab the other Ephemerate and swing out. Looks like we found another player who just wants to run the clock. It's been a couple minutes. Okay. Okay, they block with a Terror. And they're dead. We'll see you in round 4. Round 4 versus Paflagon. I'm keeping not amazing. Depending on what we draw, certain things can happen. Probably want to fetch out in like plains and then cycle for island, but that would be if we draw a 1-drop. Our opponent's on forest, mystic. So we are hoping to play a turn 2 familiar off of an island that we draw. Grab plains. This is why I'm sideboarding all of my last breaths. I think that Elves is a very bad matchup for familiars. Generous Ent, they get a forest. Can I top deck an island? They put out some more creatures, and they have 2 cards left in hand. 1 card left in hand. We find the island. That's very good. Play the familiar. Okay, so they play a Jasper Sentinel. They're bashing in. I'll block. They must just not have anything in hand. Find a Modern Age, so I can cycle for an island. And then I can Modern Age, pitch the Deep Analysis, cast the Deep Analysis. Modern Age. Draw card. Discard. Draw cards. This is a little concerning because it's a lot of life loss. Draw foil. Okay, that's pretty good. We can foil a play Mass Vandal. I can foil pitch the Mole Drifter. Is that worth it? I guess this is fine. Priest of Titania. Okay. So now at this point, I'm just like trying to counter their payoff. We go to 12. I'll play the Chancery. Pick this up. Pick up the plains. We'll evoke a Mole Drifter. Draw 2. I'm looking for a snap. Found a snap. Now I can snap the priest. Bounce the priest. Untap. Flicker the Mole Drifter. Draw 2. Drawing an Archaeomancer. So next turn, or very soon, I will have infinite snaps. We draw a Prohibit and a Faithful. So I think I go... Oops, top. Keep the Prohibit, no shuffle. Then pass the turn. We're going to discard plains, and we might need to foil something. We need these cards. Maybe I just discard this floodplain, then the foil's pretty bad. We'll discard the floodplain. They play the priest. Now they might not want to attack, but maybe they just have to push the damage. Okay. So now I can play familiar. Land. Archaeomancer. Get back. Ghostly Flicker. Okay, so maybe I hose myself, but I can flicker the Archaeomancer. Okay, they just didn't have it. They just didn't have it. Got lucky. Okay, we'll bring in the last breaths. And exclude's pretty slow. Okay, so I don't know if the Murmuring Mystic's really going to be that good. Definitely want to cut the Faithfuls because I feel like it's just not enough to gain 1 or 2 life here or there because their go so big. I want the negates, and then the question is like, how good are Prohibit and Foil? Foil could have been pretty good, but maybe we just cut the Foil, we bring in the Prohibit. Most of their stuff will get countered by all these cards, and then I can use the Last Breaths too. I'm still maintaining the Murmuring Mystics because I need a way to win, but the problem with Chancery, sometimes we have no lands because we have 2 Chanceries in hand. Okay, this could be good. Let's keep and get rid of a Mole Drifter. We need to find white mana. They play a Forest and a Birchlore. 5 cards in hand. We found the white mana. Let's preordain. I don't think I want the Flicker. I guess I can keep the Barrens. Because that allows me to get the Mole Drifter Ephemerate going. This next turn, we're going to cycle for an island. Play out the Chancery. Hopefully they don't have anything crazy this turn. There's a Winding Way. They get a Spell Sprite. Okay. That stops my Ephemerate. Grab an island. Chancery back the island. Right now they have 3 mana. They could find Horn Elves and have 1-2 mana. They cycle a Generous End. Plays a Forest. Plays a Priest of Titania. I think I have to kill that. Last Breath, the Priest of Titania. They can't spell stutter it right now. They have a green. They were trying to spell stutter, it looks like. Okay, I mean, I'm pretty afraid of this Timberwatch that's in exile, or that's in their hand. They make blue. They have a Dispel. Preordain. Familiar Mancer. I think I have to top both of these. Plays a Llanowar Elves. Finehorn Elves. Timberwatch. Spells that are in hand. Okay, I think I have to just slam the Archaeomancer to get the Last Breath, and then try to Last Breath the Timberwatch. They play Nyxborn on the Jaspera. That's pretty bad. It's in for 3. Okay. Sprite in hand. Play Mancer. Turn the Last Breath. They can attack me for a very large amount this turn. If they do attack out, I want to block the Birchlore Rangers so that they won't have the mana to spell stutter sprite me. What I really need is a snap. They pump up the Jaspera. So I would imagine that they're going to attack all now. Just the Jaspera. Puts me to 8. They have 1 unknown in hand. I'll attempt the Last Breath. That died, okay. Play Modern Age. I need to land really bad. Draw. Doesn't help. I'll discard an Ephemerate. Pass the turn. Plays a land. Okay, so they just have another Nyxborn in hand. Cool. We're going to get rid of the Mystics and bring in the foils. And resubmit. We're looking for Familiar in the opener. Okay. Have to mulligan this one. It's just the mana wasn't good enough. This is probably good. Put back the Mire. Put back the Mire. Then we'll play a land and grab a Plains. Okay, got the Plains. Your turn. They play a Forest. Elvish Mystic. Should I bolt the bird? Probably. Let's go ahead and kill that. Priest of Titania. We have a negate. I'll play out Familiar. Don't think negate's gonna matter this turn. Maybe. Grab an island. Right now they have 3 mana, but every 1 mana elf they play is mana neutral because of the Priest of Titania. Cycle and end. They have 2 mana. Birchlore, they have 3 mana. Or they had 3 mana, they have 3 mana still. Timberwatch, of course. Find a Mulldrifter, so let's just jam it. Draw another Drifter and an island. We have the Preordain in hand. Kind of tapped out, but maybe next turn I can Preordain for a snap to get rid of the Timberwatch elf. I'm super hosed if they have Nyxborn here. They cast a Winding Way, hitting a ton of mana. Just lands and a priest. So they have a very large amount of mana. So I kind of need to hold open the negate, I think. Cast another Winding Way. They found a Nyxborn this time. Plays a priest. So they're going to be going for Mega Nyxborn next turn. Will they attack? They decline to attack, so that means they have the Dispel. I'll try a Preordain. Finding another Preordain in an island. Let's bottom, top, cast a Preordain. Archaeomancer. So, Archaeomancer for Last Breath to take out the Timberwatch. So bottom, I don't know, I guess I just top. Cast Ponder. Another negate. Let's go like this. No shuffle. Land. Pass the turn. Right now, if they have Spell Sitter in hand, it only can counter a 1-drop, so the negates won't be countered. Aquarian Ranger. I can make a really big Hydra. So we know 3 of the cards in their hand is a Llanowar, Jaspera. So now I actually think that the only way I can win is by the negate resolving, and then I have to find a snap off the top. I know I'm drawing Archaeomancer and a Chancery, so it seems pretty unlikely that I'd find a snap. My elf opponent is doing a very large amount of counting. Just counting. Trying to count. How much mana do I have? Pumping the mana into the Nyxborn and counter. Does this resolve? Dead to a Dispel or a Spell Pierce, not the Spell Stutter Sprite. And they drew the Dispel. So my opponent's playing Winding Ways and Dispels. They got me good. We'll see you in round 5. All right, here we go. Round 5 versus Intellectual. This is a fine hand. I'll keep. I have a turn 2 Modern Age. I can, or Familiar, depending on what they're doing. Play a Fjord. So let's go ahead and, I'll play the Modern Age. Discard the Island. Can also maybe discard the Flicker here. Drew another Chancery, so I can discard a Chancery. Go Ponder. Drifter. This is fine. No shuffle, play Chancery. Pick up the Island. I think next turn we slam the Murmuring Mystic. They probably have a hard counter. And then maybe they tap out on their turn 4 for me to go Familiar, Drifter, Ephemerate. Ponder. And they don't shuffle. Modern Age turns into a creature. We'll slam a Murmuring Mystic. Expecting a counterspell. There you go. They play a land. Play out a Familiar. And attack. Okay, so they could have a removal spell. They didn't. They have 5 mana. I'm just worried about them having a counterspell for the Mole Drifter. Go for a removal spell. I'll try Ghostly Flicker. Another Lightning Bolt. So they're probably out of bolts. Play land. Grab an island. And swing in. They have another Lightning Bolt. So they were not out of bolts. Plays a land. 3 cards in hand. Crimson Fleet Commodore. So now we can Drifter Ephemerate. Okay. Play Faithful. Evoke the Mole Drifter. They're always trying to Commodore me. Ephemerate the Mole Drifter. Then I can snap this. I don't know if I want to snap that. We have a foil. They have 3 cards in hand. I have to take this 5. I can't just block or anything. They draw off the Monarch. No removal spell. Okay. We're going to try to Ephemerate the Mole Drifter. I'd rather have the Ephemerate resolve, I think. And now I have a ridiculous amount of counters in my hand. So I will pass. On their end step, I'll snap the Commodore, I think. They get in for 5. We'll go to 11. Plays a land. We're going to snap the Commodore. Untap. And then go to my turn. Attack in. They go Breath Weapon. Cast a foil. They have a Scred. Try a Prohibit. Maybe they have a Spell Pierce here. That would screw me. No Spell Pierce. No. Another spell. I didn't have another thing. Ah, that sucks. Okay. Preordain. Bottom, top, I guess. Bummer. Outplayed. Oh, I had the negate. I didn't have to do that. Oh, God. Why? No. Oh, man. That was such a bad move. Modern Age. You discard the Deep Analysis. We're going to draw some cards. Have a Mole Drifter. Snap this thing. Tap. I didn't have to kick that to counter the Breath Weapon. I had the negate in hand. Come on. Bummer for me. They get in for 5. Brainstorms. Preordains. Maybe they're just getting rid of their Monarch. I'm so sad about that. That was disappointing. Ponders again. Just pondering away. While I ponder my punts. Plays the Commodore again. Draws more cards. Draw Faithful and a Familiar. So what's in the Faithful? Maybe I just bin the foil. In the foil. Go Faithful. Go Familiar. Let's evoke the Drifter. I think I'm just going to have to try and accrue some advantage here and get some life gain going. Snap the Drifter. Because I do have a negate for a removal spell. We'll untap. They have a removal spell. Come on, opponent. Okay. Then we play another Mole Drifter. Draw some cards. Drew an Ephemerate. Let's go ahead and Ephemerate that Mole Drifter. They don't have anything. I'm going to be drawing cards. They have Spell Pierce. Counter. Draw cards. We found the Mystic. Okay. We're at 19. Gonna try to Ephemerate the Mole Drifter again. This is tough. They get in for 10. Go to 9. I mean, I'm recovering-ish. Cast their own Murmuring Mystic. And they breath weapon to kill the Mole Drifter, and it also kills the Commodore. You ephemerate the Faithful. Okay, we have a creature. Play Murmuring Mystic. Gain some life. Now it's just Mystic Wars, which is insane. Preordain. Okay, we're making birds. Our opponent's making birds too. Let's see what they have in store for us. They scred my Mystic. Well, I don't have anything that I can do about that. I get a single bird. I can... The Mancer on top. Mancer. Ephemerate. Snap. On top. On top. Archaeomancer. Get back Ephemerate. Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. Get back the Snap. Chancery. Pick up the Plains. Get rid of your Murmuring Mystic. Make them have to cast that entirely again. And we will jam a Mole Drifter. We've got 3 flyers. I'm at 19 again. It's funny that they killed their own creature. They replay the Murmuring Mystic. They have 2 cards in hand. They'll draw for Monarch. And they're passing. They cast Focus the Mind, which gives them draw 3, discard a card. They have 2 flyers. And we win. Wow. Honestly, I cannot believe that we won that, but I will take it. Get rid of the Faithfuls. And I'm going to get rid of my Murmuring Mystics. We will bring in the 4 Hydros. The Excludes. And then I can probably just go 2 negates or 3 negates. Cut a Snap. Oh yeah, I cut the Ponders last time. That would have been a better call. Whoops. But sometimes Ponder can just help set you up. I'll keep this. We have a lot of land drops. They play a Fjord, play a land, pass. They play a land. We're just going to cycle, grabbing the Plains, and then try to play out the Modern Age, but I expect it to not resolve. Modern Age. It'd be great if this did resolve. It would really fix my hand up. They brainstorm looking for Pyro or Spell Pierce. Maybe they just had the Spell Pierce anyway. It just resolves. Okay, discard a land. Wow. Okay, so we have the negate. Play a land, they play Ponder. We're looking for Exclude, Ephemerate, Familiar. Got lots of stuff. Preordain's not too bad. Get rid of an island, play island. Cast Preordain. Deep Analysis is quite good, so we bottom and top and pass. Deep Analysis is very good into counter spells. It allows you to force them to have multiple counters. I go Ponder. Don't think I want to counterspell that. We're just going to go land, Deep Analysis, land, Lorien, etc. I have a Hydroblast. So I could wait on the Deep Analysis, but I think I'm just going to play it out. Attempt to draw cards. So Deep Analysis is either a 4-for-1 or a 2-for-1, because if they counter both sides, it's a 2-for-1, and if they don't, it's a 4-for-1. Kill my creature. Let's see if they have the red Monarch. They Ponder, so maybe they're setting up some terrors. Plays a land. Terror would be all their mana right now. Preordain still would be all their mana. But now I guess I could play 2. Bad. I have 2 terrors. Bad. Okay, we're gonna try to Drifter Ephemerate. Drifter. Ephemerate. Doink. And I got rid of my Mystics. Oh no, why did I do that? Bad news. Pass. Get rid of Landscape Lorien. How do I beat these now? I don't know if I can. Okay. My turn. Should have kept the Mystics in. I will Hydroblast. Counter. They have a Red Blast. Attempt another counter. They have a counterspell. Counter. Okay. That was a big turn. Ephemerate the Mole Drifter. Play Chancery. Pick up the Plains. Ponder. A double Ephemerate. Okay. Bottom. Up top. No shuffle. Now we have to block. We'll go to 5. Nope, we just die. That's my fault. Because I had no Mystics. The Ponders could have been Mystics. Get rid of the 2 Ponders. Bring in the Mystics. Stupid snakes. Maybe the Excludes aren't that good, but they did a lot of work in the previous game. We'll try this way. I'm on the play. With no lands. Okay. This is probably a keep. We can get rid of a Mole Drifter. Go land. cycle this, grab the floodplain, and then floodplain, crack this for an island. The next turn we can invoke the Mole Drifter. We can Mortuary Mire it back. Okay, floodplain, and grab an island. They play a Fjord. I'm going to evoke the Drifter. Draw some cards. They cycle the Lorien. I'm feeling pretty pressured right now. Mortuary Mire, pass the turn. I will pick that up. Hopefully they just jam their Monarch and I counter it, but it seems unlikely. They play Landscape. Okay. With 7 cards in hand. I'll play Chancery and pick up the island. They crack the Landscape. Grabbing a mountain. Okay, now they have enough to play out the Monarch, but they did not. We'll go land. Try Modern Age. Counterspell. Okay. Plays a land. Draw. You have a land. I will. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have the 3 mana. Land. Cast Deep Analysis, targeting myself. They let it go. Drawing, Snap, and Ephemerate. So I need them to tap out. I have no counterspells really. My turn. Find a land off the top. Cycle. Grab an island. Play it. I think I will play the Modern Age. So I can discard the Snap here. Discard the Snap. I found a negate. Okay. Feeling better about things. I need to get the Familiar into play and then get stuff done. They go for Mystic. We'll go for Exclude. Maybe that was a bait spell, which is fine. So here I can cycle for an island, or I can cycle for a plains. I think I'm going to cycle for an island. If I got the plains, that would be the card that I would just discard to the Modern Age. Draw another island. I'll discard the island, land, play out a Familiar. Let's try Archaeomancer. I have a Red Blast. I'll try a Negate. Another Red Blast, okay. But we have a follow-up of Drifter, draw 2, Ephemerate, draw 2. Which was pretty good follow-up, to be honest. They have 5 cards in hand. We're back up to 5. Our Familiar dies. Our Mole Drifter dies. They have a Terror. Or Ephemerate. No rebound for you. I will attempt to Archaeomancer. They have a counterspell. I'll play the Murmuring Mystic. Chancery, pick up the Mortuary Mire. And they have a removal spell, but I've got another Ephemerate. Boom. And they crack the Landscape. And we pick up the Mortuary Mire. The last card is a Lorien Revealed. Bro. Brainstorm. They're trying to find a way to kill the Mystic. Plays a Terror. Oh boy. We block. Okay, so Ephemerate the Mystic. Ephemerate goes to the graveyard. Find a Snap. Let's Mortuary Mire. Get the Mancer. And then draw 2 with the Deep Analysis. There we go. Ooh, okay. Our Familiar. 1, 2, 3. Archaeomancer. Get back Ephemerate. We Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. And then I take what? Negate? Negate seems fine. And I thought I had more to do, but I did not. So let's I could bounce a bird, bounce the Archaeomancer. Okay, I'm just gonna pass. Guess I can attack. Attack in. We're getting it done. No Monarch going on right now. They have a Preordain. So 4 removal spells for the Archaeomancer have the negate plus a Snap to try to save it. Breath Weapon would be annoying again. We have another Brainstorm. And these games have been pretty interesting. They get in for 10. Block. Okay. They're passing. I have 3 cards in hand. Go for a removal spell. We attempt to Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. What do you got? Scred. I will go Snap. I have a Red Blast. I'll go Negate. So their last card in hand has to be a counter, but they didn't have it. So the cool thing about what I did there, go back to the game. So they had an Ephemerate. I went for Snap. So they had to respond. Now they Red Blast the Snap, and then I negate the Red Blast, and then Snap works. I should have just negated the... So I messed it up, but I should have negated the Scred. So by negating the Scred, this would have resolved, and then my ephemerate would have resolved there. It didn't really matter because I could just play out the Archaeomancer. So I thought I was being fancy. I wasn't being that fancy. Hopefully you enjoyed a nice league of Familiars. The deck is still quite strong. Elves beat me up. I'll see you in the next video.